in the blink of an eye, out of the blue. They're all sayings that we've known, we've heard, but until tragedy hits, they take on a whole new meaning. In September 4th, 2018, I lost my husband of 28 years to suicide. I had no idea what he was going through. I didn't know the struggle. You want to talk about out of the blue. Then 4 years later, September 11th of all dates, 2022, my oldest son, his wife, a very close friend of myself, sat in a hospice room in Ann Arbor, and we witnessed my youngest son's final breath. Two of my greatest losses. And people say, I can't imagine. And my first thought is, you don't want to. Unfortunately, loss is something that we will all share. At some point in time, whether you have already or not, you will lose somebody that you love very dearly. The grief is heavy. It takes on a shape that you never knew would happen before in your heart. You have to be very careful of your lungs. I did get pneumonia, shallow breathing, sadness. It weighs you down. But what I'm also here to tell you is that with intention, you can survive this, and you will. You can thrive through this. I had learned the word despair. I read it. Everybody knows, you're reading through it. And all of a sudden, you go, oh, this is what it is. It's heavy, but you can make your way through it. You have to learn to honor where you're at. If you're in the moment, I could have been in bed 24 hours a day. I still could be in bed 24 hours a day. But you make the choice to get up. You make the choice, today I'm going to take a shower. Those are big things, let me tell you. It might take you a week to get there, but the shower, it tends to be important for those that you love that are around you. But the kind of notes that I put together were thoughts of a survivor. I chose not to stay in any particular, the grief. You got all your stages of it. You can Google it. You can go through it. You find them. You read them. I've read them before. I kind of knew them. But then you get really close with them. What they don't tell you is that my record was I probably went through all of those in about 60 seconds flat. And then maybe one day I sat with one. Maybe 1 week I sat with another. But what you learn is that you're not supposed to stay there. You're supposed to get up. You're supposed to move forward. Those that you love aren't with you in the physical. They're always with you. And so my thought was that I'm going to live life to its fullest in order to honor those that aren't with me anymore. People will surprise you. There are people that you think are family. Maybe they are family. They're always going to be there. Not always. They walk away, but sometimes they're dealing with either your grief or the grief has brought up something that they don't recognize, and it's something that they have to go through. It's okay. You can't put boundaries, you can't put comparison with people, but then you'll have complete strangers or acquaintances that step up beyond imagination, and they're there. The thing is to allow the flow of it. Let people walk away. Bring those to you, the closer that are there. Let it happen. One of my sayings that I don't really care for, I don't like the word hate, but it's pretty close, is happiness is a choice. I tried. I'm going to be happy today. Well, you don't necessarily reach it. So I changed it to the pursuit of happiness as a choice. I'm going to make an actual choice today. I'm going to work towards my happiness. Might not get it, and that's okay. But I've made movement. I'm not going to stay in that place that, well, you know what? Sometimes you have to stay in that place for a while and you have to marinate on something. But then there's the time where it's okay to kind of step off of it. I think a therapist is a good one, is worth their weight in gold. And if you don't find one, if you go to the first one and you go, yeah, therapy's not for me, that's not it. It's like a good pair of shoes. You go try them on and you find a good fit. And I've been through a couple. You know, you go to the first session and you're like, yeah, okay, I don't need to counsel you. Let's work through this together. Yeah, what I've been through sucks, but yeah, like, can we talk about something, let's talk about me. This is my family. They are priceless. My sister gave me the biggest life lesson that I would like to share with you when you're supporting somebody that's going through grief. She stayed with me a little while after Todd had passed, and I came out of the kitchen with a cup of coffee, and she was working on something, and I just started doing load on her. Every thought that had been in my head, good, bad, ugly, just started talking to her, and she sat down what she was working on, and she looked at me. I kept talking, and finally she said, do you want a response? I said, no. She said, okay, continue. And I continued to just unload. A lot of times when you try to say, oh, I can't get them to talk about it, when you try to get them to talk about it, it's experience, I'm going to let you know it just pisses you off. I don't want to talk about it right now, but guess what? 5 seconds later, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm just going to unload. So it's learning to just be present, to just be there to witness. Everybody wants to be witnessed. And what might come out isn't pretty, but it's what needs to come out. Because when you hold on to an emotion like sadness or anger or guilt, it is toxic. And it will come out when you least expect it in a way that you're not looking forward to it coming out. So be present. Don't offer an opinion. Don't offer a fix. There is no fix. Just know that there is absolutely nothing that you can say with all the wisdom in the world to make things better. A simple, I am so sorry, works. That's all you need. And then to be there to witness when the conversation starts. There's no comparing. And if there is, that's not a competition you want to win. And I did have somebody at one point in time say to me, I understand how you're feeling. I had to put my dog down last week. A little taken back. But when you think about it, God bless them, that was the greatest loss that they had experienced. I'm not going to dumb it down. Thank you for sharing that. And it's just, everybody's just trying to cope the best that they possibly can. So it's, you have kindness in your grief for others. People will say weird things. The moving on thing is like, oh, no, we don't move on through this. We carry it with us. Another thing that you need to remember is that when people kind of dissipate and you find they're not there, maybe it's because you put that wall up. You kind of have this pursuit of privacy and companionship at the same time. Is it really obtainable? No, but you seek it, both. Both are okay. There's not a wrong answer, there's not a right answer. The only answer is what you're feeling in that moment. Do you need privacy in the moment? Take it. You need companionship? It's up to you to reach out to others to let them know it's okay to do the same. Because sometimes I've been on the other side of the fence. I think about them. I had a friend that would just send a heart via text. That's all she would, just a heart. I'm letting you know I'm thinking about you. I don't expect a response. Some days I'd send a heart back. Other days I'd respond, thank you for that. I did whatever it was on for the day. So it's part of your responsibility as well to let people know what's okay with you. Not a right answer, not a wrong answer. It's what you're looking for at the same time. I saw a post the other day that really stuck with me, and it says, time does not heal all wounds. Intention has to be there. Time is going to pass, whether you're standing still or you're moving forward. So you have to have the intention to heal. It's okay to stand still for a while, but boy, don't stay there. Move forward. There's so much to see in the world, and you can take them with you. You see that sunset. Enjoy the moment and say, I see it, do you? They do. But you have to have the intention to move forward. It just isn't going to happen. So everybody's grief is different. Mine, I carried a great amount of guilt. And I had to learn to forgive myself. How could I have not seen this? Why don't I have the answers? Why didn't I save them? But then it came to me also that I have to forgive them also. Not just me, but them. Why didn't they come for me to help? You know, I had no idea the struggles that either one of them were going through and the depths that they were. You get caught up in life and everything's going, do you have stress in your life? Yeah, we own a business. Welcome to the world, you know. You move forward. But until you really take that on, in the end, you beat yourself up pretty bad. So when you start to forgive, don't just forgive yourself. Forgive who's passed. But, you know, again, all the losses are different. I have remarried. I decided that what I had with Todd was pretty special. I knew what love was, and I wanted it again. Well, Colin accepted me for who I was. Broken, a lot of duct tape, a lot of glue, but I was working hard on it. And he learned to just hold space. He had to be taught, because he wanted to be a fixer. Here, let me hold you. No, 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 don't touch me. You know, I need to let this out. I need to let this go. And the biggest compliment I have to give him is the non-jealousy of the conversations, because I take Todd with me wherever I go. I met him when I was 19. I won't do the math for you, but it's, you know, we were together a long time. And how can I not have stories without Todd in it? And so he's spoken of on a daily basis. He talks to Jake about him. You know, there's no jealousy of it. It's just, he loves me for who I am because of the relationship that I had with him. And I didn't move on. I took him with me. It's an odd threesome, but, you know, hey, you know, he's a good sport. He's a very good man. And again, he accepts me for who I am. At the end of the day, I think that if Todd and Ben came to this earth to learn unconditional love, that is what I showed them, and that's what gave them the leave to move on. I gave it freely, willingly. I would do it all over again, even if I knew what the end game was going to be. So at the end of the day, my advice is, those that you love, let them know and love them hard. Those that don't bring you joy, it's okay to let them go. Move away from them, actually throw them out. Oop, they don't bring you joy. And learn to forgive yourself for not being perfect. And then also, most importantly, love yourself. Thank you very much.